So I was just doing my kid thing, but one day I'm in the front yard riding my bike, and she came driving in the driveway in a 57 Chevy, and it had those fins in the back, and there was a chrome piece on that fin, and it fell off in the driveway as she's coming in. Now I'm on the other side of the front yard near my neighbor's driveway. I'm nowhere near it. And she got out of that car furious and screaming and hollering and yelling, "You broke my car." And I'm looking at her like, okay, I might not be very old. I might not be very bright. I'm over here. You're over there. How did I break your car? Get over here, pick it up and put it back. Now, I had never had auto shop 101. I don't know how to fix cars yet. I know how to take a clothes hanger and put the little playing cards in my spokes so I could sound like a motorcycle when I'm riding my bike down the street. That's about as much mechanical engineering that I got under my little 9-year-old belt. So I pick up this huge chrome piece and I don't know what to do. So I put it back on top and pressed it down. Immediately it fell off and my heart sank. My heart sank. I knew I was in trouble. She started screaming like an animal from another planet. And she said, "If you admit that you broke my car, I'll only beat you for 5 minutes with that razor strap. If you continue to lie to me and tell me that you didn't break it, I'm going to beat you for 15 minutes." I don't know how long 5 minutes is, and I don't know how long 15 minutes is. Okay. But I know I'm in trouble. And I said, "You know, I didn't break your car. I'm on the other side of the yard. You drove up in the driveway and it fell off. How did I break your car? Get up those stairs, take off your clothes. I'm coming up. I'm going to, I'm going to unlife you." Now, I don't know God. We did go to an Episcopal church on Sunday, which I thought was very spooky. It was quiet. You couldn't move. You had to sit there like a little carrot and not move at all. And there was a choir in the back that, woo, woo. I mean, it just sounded so spooky. It's like, I don't know, but I had heard that God protects his children. I heard it preached. And as I'm running up those stairs, I said my first prayer. If you're real, there really is a God, and you really do protect your children, what about me? I've been terrorized for years. What about me? Please unlife her before she unlifes me. So I got to strip down. She wants you unclothed, I guess would be the proper word, before she lays in. And I said this prayer, but I hear her feet coming up the steps, and she's pounding up the steps. And I saw the look in her eye, Shaun. See, my thing as a child was, will I live through the day today? My greatest terror as a child was, what happens when you no longer are alive? Where do you go? What is it like? Where will I go? And I used to scare myself thinking about it because that was a major issue for me, making it through each day. At any moment, I could not be here. And so here she comes and she's wailing. I mean, she doesn't even care now. A lot of times it was just my back. And we're getting the whole body. My arms are cut up and bleeding. She got me on my face. It's bleeding. And I mean, I'm looking at her face, screaming at the top of my lungs, hoping some person in this neighborhood hears what's happening and comes to my rescue. And I can see it in her eyes. There was a gleam. It was like joy almost. It was like I knew this was the day. Whatever that look is I saw in her eye, I knew this was it. This is the day that I will cease to exist. All of a sudden, Shaun, the razor strap flew from her hand and disappeared. And she's searching for it and can't find it. And I'm wondering, uh-oh, did God hear my prayer? And so I had a real oak study table next to my bed to do my homework at, and an oak chair. She picked up that oak chair, Shaun. Okay. And I'm standing taking this horrible beating. You see, a lot of times it brought me to my knees. I think it brought me to my knees this day, but I had stood up because she stopped and she's looking for this razor strap. She grabbed that oak chair and beat me flat on the floor. And I knew this is it. No more me. And I saw her ankle and I grabbed it and pulled as hard as I could. And she fell like a tree in the forest. I grabbed all my clothes. They were in a pile, tennis shoes, everything. Ran out of that house with no clothes on. I don't know if I can use the N word. I'm
No,
trying,
no.
I'm trying to be proper here. And you know what I was. And I dived into some bushes. I got to run away. I done touched her. Okay. But I'm fighting for my life, Shaun. I don't know what else to do. There's no protection for me. I remember in elementary school, the coach, he was a big black guy, big, nice muscles and strong, and muscles in his legs, muscles in his neck. He had muscles everywhere. And he would call us on the playground to come to the basketball courts, and we'd all go running over there with our little goofy selves. And he'd say, okay, pick your teams. And then he would say, shirts, skins. Skins mean you had to take off your shirt to play so you'd know who to throw the ball to. I couldn't take off my shirt. She had told me, if you tell anyone what I'm doing to you, you will no longer be on this earth. And I believed her. I had never told anyone. Sometimes the blood would leak through. There's this shirt, and she had a dozen of them that I would wear. It's on the cover of the book. It's out of print right now. We're about to get republished. Our publisher went out of business, but see the red stripes on that shirt? They would cover up the blood if the blood came out where the red stripe was. But if it came out on the white, kids would ask me, hey, what's that? I don't know, paint. I never told anyone. So every time the coach would say, today, your shirts, I mean, he'd say, your skins. I can't take off my shirt, coach. I'm sorry. And he would let me. get on the other team or switch it. So the other team was skins and we were shirts. This day he wasn't going for it. He said, you know, I'm tired of you. You do this every time. You never want to take off your shirt. What? Do you think you're so skinny? Look at the rest of the kids. They're all skinny. You can take off. I can't take off my shirt. Oh, I run this playground, not you. You're going to take off that shirt. I started walking away, and he told me, don't you dare walk away from me. And I'm heading to get away because if he finds out, I'm really going to be in trouble. You see? And so I'm heading toward the bungalows. He's following me, yelling at me. And I finally turned around and I took off my shirt. And I said, and I got tears in my eyes. And I said, this is why I can't take off my shirt. Do you know that big, muscular man? I didn't know men cried. He hit his knees on the asphalt. He came crashing to his knees in tears. And he's like, child, who is doing this to you? I mean, I got marks on top of marks. You can see where they've healed and then where they're fresh and when they're just horrible. And it brought him to his knees and he said, child, you do not have to do this alone. Let me help you. Oh, no, you can't tell anyone. Your father's doing this to you. He's never touched me. Ah, it's your mom. He tricked me. Shaun, I'm just a child. He's trying to figure out who's doing it, and I done already spilled the beans. Okay? You can't tell. He said, I have to. I'm a teacher. It is my job to call the police right now. Oh, no. I mean, I'm really crying now. I'm like, you can't. You tell, and I will be unlived or unalived or whatever the etiquette is. You know what I'm saying. I'm leaving this planet. You can't. And I begged him with tears in my eyes, please. And he told me, if you ever need help, come get me. I'm here for you. So back to this last day, I remember what he said. I'm hiding in the bushes, scared, naked. There's blood dripping down my arm. And I'm watching it because I'm trying to be quiet. Because she's come out of that house and she's screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm wondering, what did that cause in the neighborhood, right? And she's searching for me. I don't dare move. But I'm watching the blood coming down my arm and then my hand, my finger, and then it's dripping into the dead leaves in the bush I'm hiding in. And it sounded like thunder to my little ears. And I'm like, oh no. I mean, I'm holding my breath, trying not to move. She goes back in the house. I quickly put on my clothes. She comes back out, gets in her car, starts searching the neighborhood. I heard the coach's voice in my mind. I gotta tell. I have no choice now. I have no choice. Either I tell or I won't be here anymore. You see? And now it's who? And there was this sheriff, really cool. We would be in the streets playing football. He would pull his car over, get out, tell us to throw him the ball. Go long, go long. He'd throw the bomb. You know what I mean? And there was a stop sign that he would sit in our neighborhood. We always ran that stop sign. See, we lived on a hill. And as we're coming down that hill, you're building up speed and your eyes are watering. Well, the stop sign would stop us halfway down the hill. And if we dared to stop, there was a dog, a Bow Wow. And he was in this neighbor's yard. And if we were coming down on our bikes, he would run out in the street and he'd bark and he'd chase us. Well, we don't know what he's going to do if he catches us, but as children, we are not going to let him catch us, are we? So to stop at the stop sign, you can't get enough speed up to get by him. So we're not stopping. We're not cars, right? We're flying down, and then the dog comes out. He can never catch us, you see? And so I knew where he sat in his car, waiting for people to run his stop sign, as he'd call it, you see? And so I got to get there, but I'm stuck in a bush and I don't know where she's at. So I would come out, run to the next house, dive in their bushes, and hide myself. And I knew the sound of her car, and here she's coming slowly back around the corner and up the hill. I'm holding my breath, holding my breath. I don't want the bushes to move, you see, and give away my position. She's searching behind cars. She's searching behind trash cans, driving slowly, looking for me. She'd go by. I'd wait for her to turn, and then I would run and get a couple more bushes, hide behind a tree. I don't know where she's at, but I know I've got to get out of this neighborhood. But that cop is in the neighborhood. I'm going to get to him and let him drive me out of this neighborhood. I'm showing my back now. I'm already a mess. Now, I don't know what I look like. You figure I came out in that bush wet with sweat and blood. I got blood all over me. So I got leaves and dirt stuck to me. My clothes are dirty from putting them in the dirt down on the ground in the bushes. I have no idea what I look like. You see? And so I'm making my way around the hill to come up this street that he sits on, but keeping my eye on her. And it took me maybe 45 minutes to go a 10-minute walk away because I had to go around and hide and stuff. He's not there. Of all days in my life, I never ran that stop sign and he wasn't there. Okay. But today, he's not there. Where is he? Who am I going to tell now? There's a highway patrolman way up on Slauson and Overhill watching the light. I'll go tell him. Well, now I got to come down that hill and make my way around the hill and over. It's about 2.5 miles walk. But I'm always watching and I'm looking to see if she's coming. I get there. It's hot. I'm tired. Everywhere she has hit me is stinging with pain. And I get to that hill. He's not there. I mean, I'm so exhausted, I fell to my knees and just started crying. Now that I finally made it up in my mind to tell, who's to tell? How can I get protection? There's no going back. I know I have to run away now. And the world seemed like a very scary and big place to me at 9, but there's no going back. So I remembered my dad used to always pass this police station. It was Santa Barbara Boulevard back then, Southwest Division, but it was changed to Martin Luther King Boulevard today for those in your audience that may be familiar with Los Angeles. I ran, Shaun. I ran with everything I had. and cars are slowing down and they're rolling down their windows. This was before power windows. It's in the early 60s. And they're like, "Are you all right?" No, I'm not all right. I still don't know what I look like. I look like something that got ran over from a truck and don't even know it. And I ran all the way to that police station, people honking, you know what I'm saying? Asking me, do I want to ride? I don't trust nobody, no adult. I had some serious trust issues. I mean, the ones you're supposed to trust that, that are placed above you, and they're your biggest nightmare? No, I don't trust anybody. I believe the badge and the gun. I can trust that. And I ran my little tired legs all the way into that police station. And the guy, there's an officer sitting way up high, and there's like this huge desk. And he had to stand up and look down at my little tiny self. And I said, I gotta tell. I came to tell. I need someone to tell. Hang on. And he walks through this door. So I'm standing there by myself. And then a side door opens and there's an officer. Come here, young man. You want to tell? Tell me. And he takes me in a room and I took off my shirt and I showed him. And I told him all about my mother from the first memory to now, just like I'm telling you. And he leaves the room. He says, don't put your shirt on. And he comes back with another officer. And this officer is darn near in tears. He's like, and the first officer says, you need to go home before something worse happens to you. And they're ushering me out. I'm like, what? I can't go home. If I go home, you'll be reading about me in the newspapers. I'm not saying that, but you know. And so I made it up in my mind. I got to run away. I'm in the world now. Nobody knows where I'm at. I don't even know where I'm at. Let me let my dad know that I love him. I know where his office is. So now I got to walk about 3-4 miles back. I have nothing to write with, nothing to write on. I got 7 cents in my pocket, a pretty little pebble, and a marble. That's all I got. I bought a pencil for 4 cents at the shopping center across from his office. The sharpener was 10 cents. I didn't have enough. So I just took the sharpener, sharpened the pencil, and went up and got in line. Don't forget, I have no idea what I look like. I get up to the register and I got my little 4 cent out and the pencil. And she's looking at me with this weird look. And I said, do you have a piece of paper I can write on? No, I don't. Okay. So I go out to the curb out in front in the parking lot and I'm sitting on the curb. And I'm like, I can't buy a piece of paper. I don't have a piece of paper. How will I write this runaway note? And a brown paper bag in the gentle breeze was coming down the gutter. And I grab it and I write my dad a note. I wrote everything. From the time she knocked me out of that wheelchair to now, everything she'd done, everything she'd call me, all the bad names, how she'd threatened me. And he's on the 3rd floor of this very prestigious, it was called the Crenshaw Arts Medical Center. dynamite building. Okay. Many famous doctors in there. And so I'm trying to plan and plot, how do I get out of the elevator, slide it under his door, and get back before the elevator door closes? I'm going to have to run. I'm going to have to be fast. You can do it. I'm talking myself into this. When I enter into his building and hit the button for the elevator, it opens up. It's mirrored on the inside. I can't even recognize myself. I'm soaking wet with sweat and blood from head to toe. I mean, my legs are cut up. I had shorts. My legs are cut up. I'm bleeding through this wet t-shirt. My arm, there's blood and dirt. I literally look like I got ran over by a truck. And I'm standing here in the mirror looking at myself, and the door closes. So I turn around real quick, snap back to it, hit the button. Goes up the third floor. Here we go. That door opens. I am running as fast as I can. And it's like you come up, quick left. I got to slide it under the second door in that hallway. And I slip, Shaun. I'm so wet with sweat. I just slipped and slid. The note went under the door. I get up and I'm running back. I got blood all over the floor from my legs and knees. And I get back to the elevator, watching the door slowly closing, and I hit that button. Because sometimes when it closes and you're there on time, you hit the button, it'll open back up. It didn't, and my heart dropped. And then I felt somebody grab my shoulder, but it is bloody and in pain. And I'm like that. And my father's secretary nurse grabbed me and picked me up off the floor and carried me into his office. Now, being a doctor, he was never home. When he was home, I didn't get beat. When he was gone, I got beat. I thought I loved him because he was my protection. Because when he was there, no pain. I don't know to this day that he didn't know what she was doing, but he's standing there reading this note that I wrote. And she puts me in that office and closes that door. And he said, "This is not true. It can't be true." All his nurses are out there looking at me. They got their hands over their mouths. And I took off my shirt and I turned around and I showed them all. How can you say this isn't true? Look at me. There's a tear running down my father's cheek. Why didn't you tell me? Because she threatened to eliminate me from this rock called Earth. And I believed her. And so now the nurses are in tears. And they take me in one of his examination rooms. He told them to dress my wounds. So I'm thinking, I'm tired. I'm a mess. I'm in pain, but I'm alive. All I wanted, Shaun, my whole life was to love and to be loved. I wanted it so bad I could taste it. That's all I wanted.